Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I want to thank Deacon Bob for the honor here today to come up in front of you all. And I especially want to thank you and Mother Page, too, for these bags under my eyes from tossing and turning every night for the last week, wondering what I was going to say, and hope that whatever I had to say would be worthy of this audience. But anyway, welcome to you all. I see we have some people who are guests here today from the community, and a special welcome to all of you. The message that I finally came to as I thought about what might be of value to everybody would be to elaborate a little bit on the kinds of people who actually join the service. Okay, not everybody today has this kind of insight, as we're down to about 6% of our population is our veterans. So, like Mother Page noted yesterday at the close of our service, not everybody gets to, up close and personal, if you will, on the kinds of people who join and the reasons why they join. So that's sort of the theme of what I'm going to talk about today, and really to try to focus on why young men and young women would sign up for something to could actually get themselves killed. As you can imagine, the sources of people entering the military are from all over the place, many and varied. And I'll start with myself. As I was putting this together, I was sort of reminded of an old joke that we would tell on ourselves as young fighter pilots. And as you may know, it's not a particularly humble group of guys. They actually are humble. They just are not known to be humble. But this one young pilot reflected on how, after about an hour and a half of meeting a young lady, he realized he'd spent about an hour and a half talking about himself. And he gets to a point, he finally realizes it and says, "Well, I'm so sorry that you carried on like this. Enough about me. Let's talk about flying." And that's probably a true story. Anyway, I promise I won't get that carried away. I always felt that I was a perfect candidate to join the military, raised in a middle-class, male-dominated Roman Catholic household in the 50s and 60s. I pretty much learned how to salute and obey orders at an early age. Plus, I had the added benefit of having 3 younger sisters to boss around. So it was like perfectly suited to join the military. Lived in suburban Detroit till I was about 10 years old, and then moved up to rural Middle Michigan, which, as they say, is a great place to be from. Right? Farmland, mostly farmland, and factories predominated the area, and through hard work and studying and doing well in school and working hard in practice and being coachable in sports, I went off to the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland upon graduation from high school. And for the record, my parents didn't know anybody. My dad was a tire salesman throughout the state of Michigan. We had no money, no connections, no prior military experience at all, and our family would just plain earned the privilege of going off to the Naval Academy. And from there, graduated, went to flight training, and 23 short years later, I retired from the Navy. So that's one story and one path. And when I was at Navy, at the Academy, I became best friends early on with a guy who was from a completely different background. So his dad was already an admiral at that point. The dad had flown fighters for his whole career. Pat's older brother was already at the academy a year ahead of us, and even his mother had flown in the Navy and was from Pensacola, which is the home of naval aviation. And so clearly a different path for my friend, inside track, you might say. After graduation, he and I went through flight training together, ended up here in San Diego, going through the F-14 Tomcat training here at Miramar. And I have to say that the headiness of that time is really hard to describe. We were really on top of our game, on top of the world, and if I was ever bulletproof in my life, that was the time. We ended up being assigned to sister squadrons. We were assigned to sister squadrons, and off the coast here, on board Constellation, the aircraft carrier Constellation, and we were preparing for deployment, and he was killed, right? I mean, just within a month of us joining our squadrons. And, never found him, never found the plane. And I tell you, I still, obviously, remember that shock. Excuse me. Catching your anyway, so I lost other squadron mates over the years, and there was one period where we lost 7 guys in a year period in a number of different accidents. That was back in the 80s, and those were Cold War times. Nobody was shooting at us at that. Those are all training mishaps. I knew them all good guys, all real horrible impact on their families. And I want to add, if you didn't watch the memorial on PBS last night, I recommend it. It's very powerful, and it really puts a finer edge on the kind of pain that people feel when somebody dies in combat. So who else joins? One point in my career, I led a division of 40 young sailors, ages 18 to 21, all shapes and sizes, all points of the compass. So you can only imagine what that was like. If you all have ever had experience with young sailors or soldiers, it's a treat. A wide range of people, and more than one of them, I'm sure, joined the Navy as an alternative to going to jail. So that does happen, actually, okay? And I know we have a lot of veterans with us here today, and everybody has their own story. I was going to call out a particular helicopter pilot who has become a good friend, had a great career as a naval aviator, and ended up serving with the Marines in Afghanistan. And that guy ended up marrying a priest, if you can believe that. So amazing places that it can take you, right? I have a fantastic role model who is known to some of us here, not widely, but there's a certain woman who knows him, and I had the distinct honor of working for this fellow. This guy was from a ranch in South Dakota, and he was the best leader that I ever worked for. He became a 3-star admiral, and his would be a household name today had world events been differently. I mean, he's that caliber. He would be a Douglas MacArthur or a Chester Nimitz, that caliber of guy. One of the significant benefits, just as an aside, that I think of serving in uniform is that you're around greatness at a lot different level than most other professions. And I was always just hopeful that if I just paid attention, some of it might rub off on me. So I'm proud of my service and grateful in many ways. So now, In the words of that great philosopher of our day, Jerry Seinfeld, as part of the commencement speech that he just gave a couple of weeks ago, he said this: we live in an age where we seem to be ashamed of the things we should be proud of and proud of the things we should be ashamed of. I'll leave the latter bit of that for a different time, but regarding the former, I can tell you that I, for one, am most proud of my service and equally proud of anybody who served our country, especially those people whose names that we're going to read here in a few minutes, those people who gave their lives for our country. So this leads me to the why of it, okay? Why do these people go in the direction of service to country? Pretty much guarantee you it is not to go die for your country. And maybe that sounds funny, but if you saw the movie Forrest Gump, remember Lieutenant Dan, right? He wanted to die. I mean, he was there to die. Well, I don't think we really have that many Lieutenant Dans out there. You know, people. That's a great movie, but the reality is it's more like what General Patton admonished his troops. You know, I'm not here to have you go die for your country. I'm here for you to go make the other guy die for his country, right? I mean, it's a lot more like that. So just as there are many walks of life from which we come to serve, there are even more reasons why. Many reasons, both large and small, and at least as many as there are who join. I mean, if there are 15 veterans here, there are probably 40 reasons why you would join, ranging from education, experience, see the world, right? Join the Navy, see the world, be all you can be, join the Army, the few, the proud, the Marines, that kind of thing. Family, right? Your children, friends, your spouse, parents, all those little things that we see every day and take for granted. Our freedom to go where we want, do what we want, say what we want, when we want, those things called, that little thing we call freedom. I'll give a quick personal reason. We had the honor or the privilege, if you will, of watching a third grade class at Nativity School perform this past week a play called American Symbols on Parade. Did my heart really good to see all these youngsters up on stage as various icons, the Constitution, the Statue of Liberty, Uncle Sam, and to know that these things are still being taught out there in the schools with song lyrics that go like this: you can't tisk tisk an obelisk 500 some feet tall, when describing the Washington Monument. Now, I don't know about you, but I would fight for that. I mean, that's a terrific lyric. And it just so happens that we have Uncle Sam here with us today in the front row. And he will be happy to give autographs afterwards for a small fee, of course. Right. Okay, so there are a million small things, right? Everyone has his or her own, but there are some big things too. Big things that really matter, and things like our oath of office. Everyone who has died, everyone who's joined, raised their right hand and solemnly swore to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I think we even added that little quaint phrase, "so help me God," at the end of it. We don't take that pledge lightly, and quite the contrary. We believe it's worth fighting for, giving our lives for that, if that's what it takes, and to preserve the foundation of the greatest country that the world has ever seen, this great experiment that has lifted the entire human population over these past 2+ centuries. Note, too, that we're not pledging our allegiance, swearing our allegiance to a political party or an individual. We're doing that to the foundation of the institutions that have made us and continue to make us the example and hope for the world. I should note, too, that the freedom it conveys and preserving those freedoms does not come free or cheaply or easily. And it can, within a generation or so, go away. It's not unlike the Hemingway character in The Sun Also Rises when they asked him, how is it that he possibly could have gone bankrupt? Right? I don't know, maybe some of you know this quote. And he says, 2 ways, slowly and then suddenly. Okay? We thank God for those who've given their lives and for those who will give their lives in the future to preserve our freedom and that freedom around the world. Okay, one other of the big things is something we don't talk about very much, and that is something that we fight against. We always talk about what we fight for, but we don't talk very much about what we fight against, and that is that pesky little thing called evil. Even here in church, I say most churches, I know in this church, we focus on redemption, God's grace, His plan for us, and it's certainly right and proper that we do that. But there is such a thing as evil in the world, and there can be no denying that. The evil one is present in all things, large and small, and unless good men and women fight against it, it will prevail. Often in history, evil has been obvious. If you look up in the dictionary, what's the first thing, the definition? Nazi Germany, Adolf Hitler, right? That's an easy one. Communism is another one, responsible for some estimates 100 million deaths in the last century and untold human suffering and misery. And that was called out by President Reagan, if you remember, when he called the Soviet Union the evil empire. Okay, when asked what his strategy was to defeat them, he said, without skipping a beat, remember what he said? We win, they lose. That's what they do. And we crave leadership like that. I dare say what happened with the Hamas terrorist attack on Israel last October shocked us all, and it shows that evil is still alive and well in this world, and unless we have strong leadership and solid people to give their lives if necessary to stop it, then evil will win. We absolutely must not let it. We'll quote our Bible here today in many ways. We already have. Okay, it says there's a time for peace and a time for war. We pray against the latter to be sure, and when I pray, I also pray that in the future we have enough strong and courageous men and women who will step into the arena, risking having their names join those names that we're about to read in the courtyard who did give their last full measure for the country and for our way of life. We need courageous men and women to ensure that our place in history will continue to be the example for the world, and we're indebted to those who've gone before us and to those who continue to step forward. And as Teddy Roosevelt said about the man in the arena, their place will never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Hope that as time goes on, you will join in that prayer too. Pray for both the souls of those who've given their lives and those who at this very moment are risking their lives.